most of your standard property and casualty insurance companies do is they write what are called actual cash value policies. Every one of you has one here. Your trucks, your cars, whatever, they're insured on an ACV basis. We all know if we bought new trucks today for 40 grand and we told them trucks out a year from now, we'll be lucky to see 30 or 29 or whatever your insurance company feels that that vehicle's worth at the date and time that you sustain loss. Now, what we write are agreed value policy forms. If I have you both insured for $50,000 today, tomorrow, 3 years from now, if you have a total loss, that's the amount that you're going to receive. So it's a whole different deal. And what I tell guys every day is it's really this simple. If you bought a $100,000 classic car from Fair Jackson Auction, would you really call a Farm Bureau agent or an Allstate agent to insure it? You wouldn't, because you know that there's specialty programs out there just for a classic car, just like private aviation. So what I try to do with Bass Pro Central, Walleye Central, Steve's website as well, is I've created more of an educational format. It's not a sales presentation. I don't try to sell anybody anything. You guys send me an email with all your information. You're going to get an email or a quote back from me. Basically, what I would do if I was you, it's that simple. And with me, what you get is a policy specifically designed by fishermen for fishermen. In addition to agreed value, we also have replacement cost coverage on partial losses. And we've all seen on websites where guys have been irritated. Their insurance company gets an estimate of $4,000 or $5,000 to get their lower unit repaired, and lo and behold, they're only going to pay half of it. We replace the damage that you do. You take out your lower unit, it's $5,000, we pay it. You're responsible for your deductible, which is what every insurance company does. We also have what's called a diminishing deductible. Every year that you do not sustain a loss, your deductible is reduced by 25%. So after 4 years of being claim-free, Gary, you don't qualify yet, I'm sorry. Your deductible would actually be zero. So, and what's cool about that is once you get to the zero deductible or 50% deductible, whatever, it's transferable to another lifetime vessel. And when I say like-kind, if you go from a Ranger to a Triton, that's fine. If you go from a Ranger to a cigarette, that's not fine. So it's a like-kind vessel. Liability, this is bar none the most important part of every policy you own. I don't care whether it's your homeowners, your truck, your RV, your motorcycle, whatever. It's the most important part of the coverage, and it's the least expensive. So it's something to pay real close attention to. If you look at every policy you own, the least expensive part of that policy is the liability portion of it, and it's by far the most important. If you have a liability claim, and we've all been in tournaments, we've all had other people in our boats, the exposure that you have is huge. It really is. And what the liability is designed to do is really give your insurance company an opportunity to help you get out of a really bad situation. Liability, this is bar none the most important part of every policy you own. I don't care whether it's your homeowners, your truck, your RV, your motorcycle, whatever. It's the most important part of the coverage, and it's the least expensive. So it's something to pay real close attention to. If you look at every policy you own, the least expensive part of that policy is the liability portion of it, and it's by far the most important. If you have a liability claim, and we've all been in tournaments, we've all had other people in our boats, the exposure that you have is huge. It really is. And what the liability is designed to do is really give your insurance company an opportunity to help you get out of a really bad situation. If you injure somebody, for example, and say that person makes $75,000 a year, he's going to be out of work for a year. You've got a $75,000 claim, and you're going to lose 100% of the time. If you've got $100,000 in liability limits, your insurance company is going to hire you legal representation. His insurance company is going to hire him legal representation. The two attorneys are going to get together. They know that there's probably not going to be enough in liability to settle this claim out of court. You're risking personal assets. To go from $100,000 in liability to $300,000 costs you about $20 a year. What you're doing is you're putting your insurance company in a position where now they can settle this claim out of court. You're not risking any personal assets at all. MedPay, what the medical payment portion of your policy is designed to do is take care of minor injuries and eliminate litigation. You got a buddy in your boat, you get a rogue wave, you inadvertently slipped his head on a console and needs to be taken to the hospital and get stitched up. He comes back a few days later, and you're a hell of a nice guy, but I got $4 grand in medical bills, and he doesn't have health insurance. What the MedPay is designed to do is take care of that and just make sure that he doesn't entertain litigation. Uninsured boaters is coverage for you as well as your guests in your boat. If you're involved in a collision with a vessel that's uninsured, you as well as your guests and family members can actually receive benefits from your own policy. This is on a fixed equipment. The policies that we write, your electronics, your trolling motor, onboard charging, kicker motors, that kind of stuff is all included in the hauling equipment. This is on a fixed equipment. Rods, reels, tackles, GPS units, that kind of stuff. What we do that's a bit different is I encourage my clients to send us photographs, do a complete inventory of everything that you have. I mean, your rods, your reels, your tackle, your electronics, trolling motor, everything. Send photographs to us, send us an itemized list. If there's ever an issue with respect to a theft, it's a real simple process. You know, adjuster calls you up and says, I need a copy of the receipt for your HDS 10. You don't have it, we email them a photograph of it that you sent us. It's really that simple. You have different people in your boat all the time. And the exposure that you have is huge. Unfortunately, most of us have never been involved in anything like this. But what non-owned watercraft liability basically does is it transfers the liability from your policy to cover you in another boat that you borrowed, another boat that you may be operating, and will actually pick up that exposure on a boat that you may have rented, which is huge because there's not a single guy in here that hasn't had someone take control of his boat at some time or another, or you taking control of someone else's boat. These programs are specific to what we need. This isn't homeowners insurance. These are standalone policies that are specifically written for what we all need. That's it. The Pro Angler and the Guide program. The Pro Angler program, again, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's coverage for anybody really that professionally fishes. This particular program, with respect to the Pro Angler program, doesn't pertain to guiding. If you're a part-time guide, which that was an issue when I went to I fished a few of the A tournaments and a few of the PWT tournaments, and I couldn't believe how many guys that I talked to that didn't realize that they were really guides. No, you don't take money every day when you take somebody out fishing, but if you sign a contract with Ringy, or you sign a contract with Yamaha, or you sign a contract with Mercury, and Mercury says, we want you to take 4 guys out, media, whatever, outdoor writers, that is a commercial exposure. If you have a liability claim, I guarantee it, your homeowner's carrier is going to have a fit. So these are commercial programs specific to what we need. It's really that simple. Towing and emergency service, this is pretty cool. When your policy is issued, you're going to get 2 cards, and they're exactly the same. They're going to have 800 numbers that are 24/7 for claims. They're going to have 800 numbers that are 24/7 for towing and emergency service. I tell every one of my clients, even the ornery doc over there, take my cell phone number, write it on both of these cards, laminate them, put one in your boat and one in your truck. If you have a problem on the water or on the highway, you pick up the phone, we call it 800 number. I'm at mile marker 110 on Interstate 75. We'll physically have a flatbed dispatched out to come get your boat and equipment out of harm's way. I don't want you leaving 60 grand worth of fishing equipment alongside of the road. So it's really a great program. There's no deductible. There's no charge to you, nothing. Customer service, this is something that I've taken real serious. Every client, and there's a ton of you guys in here, every one of my clients gets my cell phone number. If you have a claim on a weekend, you call them. It's imperative to me to stress how important the service is. There's no one in here that's worked with me that doesn't understand how important